Here we go, Tuesday, June 26th. Pauly and Teddy, Sportsbit betting insight today on SBRpicks.com. I'm at Rio Sportsbit. He's at Teddy_Covers on Twitter. A team getting no respect, lined like the Cleveland Browns. The Arizona Cardinals team preview, NFC West. And we'll get to Group G coming up, 11 o'clock Pacific. And the scenarios here left in soccer, World Cup, Croatia, Nigeria, Iceland, and Argentina coming up. We'll get to that in a second. Bad beats, bad bets, bad for the books. World Cup madness continues. The bad beats, Saudi Arabia, total points under for the tournament, 1.5. They scored in the 95th minute to win 2-1. That obviously gets them to 3 points. That goes over. The total in the game was 2.5. The draw was plus 240. That doesn't get there with the goal in the 95th minute. Uruguay also scored in the 90th minute. That put it over the total, 3-0. They beat Russia. We now have 13 second-half stoppage time goals, the most in the World Cup since 1966. We're not even in the knockout stage yet, the knockout round yet. 10 calls overturned by replay. 20 PKs have been awarded. That's a record, and we have a record for own goals as well. It's been madness with the stoppage time goals this entire tournament, and every day it's deciding bets.
Yeah, and certainly when you talk about the impact of the rule changes, where A, more penalty kicks, B, more stoppage time. We talked about it at the start of the World Cup. We talked about it when we gave an overplay. What was it, last week? At the time, overs were 5, 9, and 2. I believe overs have cashed every game but one since then. That extra time at the end of games has been maddening for bettors. Certainly, as a bettor, you don't want this stuff going on at the very end of the game. That being said, it's handicapable. Hopefully, maybe we'll make some money off it. And the bad beats on the unders haven't hurt you too badly.
Portugal to win the group, and Portugal minus $1.45. They also took money at other shops. They led 1-0 and Iran PK in the 93rd minute. I thought the call was Bush League. They tied up. They almost won as they had an opportunity a couple minutes later. And Portugal gets a runner-up, although they advance. And Morocco was 10-1 in some spots. They led Spain 2-1. Spain scores in the 91st minute to get the draw and to win the group. Not offsides, upheld by replay. A 10-1 shot. And also the draw comes in with Portugal. Two good results for the book because the public rarely bets draws.
Yeah, no doubt about it. And again, look at all of these that we're talking about. You know, Saudi Arabia, 95th minute. Uruguay, 90th minute. Portugal, 93rd minute. Morocco, 92nd minute. These goals are coming really late, all of them, when the defenses are tired and during this extra time, because they're doing the stoppage time better or more accurately. It has made an impact on betting. It's made a huge impact on the sides. It's made a huge impact on the totals. Even though we're talking about little rule changes, the end result, as you mentioned, more own goals, more PKs, and more extra time, all of which has resulted in a pretty strong run of overs in recent games with some brutal beats for underbettors.
Bad for the books. They in Las Vegas, they pounded that Spain game over. It was 2.5, and there was a 40-cent move on the total in that one, and that got there. A's plus 102 went off $1.20 favorite. It wasn't pro Edwin Jackson. It was anti-Tigers. They win 5-4. They're tied with the Angels now, only 7 back at Seattle in the wild card. What a story the A's have been. Yankees $1.35 up to 150, beat the Phillies. Indians, Cardinals under 8.5 down to 8. Play the day loser. 4-0 final there. Reds over 8.5 up to 9. Books got sided 5-4 final.
Yeah, books hate getting sided. They don't get any buyback. You know, all the buyback ends up being pushed because obviously if you're taking under 9 after the line move, 5-4 final, the books don't win anything out of that. And all the money that came in to push the total from 8.5 up to 9, the books end up paying out. Getting sided for a bookmaker. Getting middled is worse, but you don't see middles on totals very often. Maybe once a year, sidewise. Not a good result. And, of course, the Yankees under. We saw some Yankees over steam last week. Indians under, Yankees under. And obviously neither a particularly good result for the books, especially with the Yankees and Indians both winning to cash any parlay bets.
Tomorrow will be a fun show as there's some huge baseball prices today. We'll get to that on tomorrow's show, but some huge favorites coming up. Bad bets, Padres 145 down to 125. They lost. Angels with some steam. They were 6-0 against the Royals, $1.55 up to 180. They were shut out in a makeup game. Orioles plus 125 down to 105. They lost to King Felix in Seattle as the Mariners get a much-needed win on their road trip. Baltimore goes down in that one. Any thoughts there, Teddy?
Well, I mean, the Orioles are going to win one every once in a while, like the White Sox, like the Royals. But to see, I mean, like Kansas City's taking money, Baltimore. I'm not a big fan of betting very bad teams in baseball. And I understand they're going to go on their runs at some point during the campaign. And you can look at the Reds the last couple of weeks, who've been making big money for their backers. Baltimore's not on a run right now. I'm surprised they took money again last night. And again, the Orioles came up short. Like the show? Help us keep the lights on. Please make sure to comment, share, and subscribe to all the Sportsbook Review videos. Thanks so much. Best of luck. Enjoy the game.